What would Japanese women nurses, civilian auxiliaries, even schoolgirls pressed into service, be lined up for summary execution the moment American troops overran their positions? That was the order every defender on Saipan, Okinawa, and dozens of smaller islands carried in 1945. Yet on one forgotten atoll in the Central Pacific, something no one thought possible happened. August 1945, just days before the surrender, a mixed group of 47 Imperial Japanese Army nurses, Navy medical personnel, and civilian women's auxiliary workers walked out of a cave on Angaur Island expecting rifles and graves. Instead, U.S. Marines handed them coffee, eggs, and Spam. This is the astonishing, almost unbelievable true story of the Japanese women POWs who were prepared to die, and were given breakfast instead. Angaur Island, Palau Group, September 29, 1944, October 1944. The U.S. 81st Infantry Division, Wildcat, storms ashore against the 1,400-man Angaur garrison, part of the Japanese 14th Division, reinforced by the 59th Naval Guard Force. By mid-October, the island is declared secured, but pockets of resistance remain in the northwest ridges and phosphate mines. Deep inside one limestone cave system hide 47 women, 22 Army nurses from the 33rd Field Hospital Unit, 15 Navy nurses from the Yokosuka Naval Hospital Detachment, and 10 members of the Women's National Defense Association, some as young as 17. They have been told repeatedly by their officers, if the Americans come, they will rape and murder every female, die before capture. Each woman carries 2 Type 97 hand grenades, one for the enemy, one for herself. Above ground, the Marines of 1st Battalion, 322nd Infantry Regiment are clearing the last caves with flamethrowers and satchel charges. Little do they know the final cave contains no fighting men at all, only terrified women clutching their grenades and waiting for death. August 15, 1945, Emperor Hirohito's surrender broadcast reaches even Angaur's field radios. The male garrison survivors commit suicide in small groups. Inside the cave, the women listen in stunned silence. Their commanding medical officer, Lieutenant Commander Takao Matsuda, orders them to prepare for honorable death anyway. We will not dishonor Japan by surrendering. They wash their white uniforms one last time in a trickle of cave water, pin their hair neatly, and line up in perfect rows. By August 18th, ammunition and food are gone. American patrols are now within 200 yards. At 0900 on August 20th, a Marine patrol from Company B, 322nd Infantry spots movement at the cave mouth. They call for a Japanese-speaking interpreter, Technical Sergeant George Yamashiro, a Hawaiian-born Nisei. Through a bullhorn he shouts in Japanese, "Come out with your hands up. You will not be harmed." Inside, the women clutch their grenades tighter. Several pull pins. By 1100 hours, the Marines lob smoke grenades to flush them out. White cloth appears. 47 women emerge single file, hands raised, eyes closed, waiting for the burst of gunfire that never comes. The Marines are speechless. These are not the fanatical soldiers they have fought for weeks. These are exhausted, emaciated women in blood-stained white dresses and Red Cross armbands, some barefoot, some limping from untreated wounds. Lieutenant Commander Matsuda steps forward and bows stiffly. "We are ready to die. Please carry out your duty quickly." A young Marine private, 19-year-old Corporal Joseph "Joey" O'Malley from Brooklyn lowers his M1 carbine and says the first thing that comes to mind, "Jesus Christ, they're just nurses." The women still expect bullets. Some drop to their knees and bow their heads to the ground. Others begin singing Kimigeo, the Japanese anthem, tears streaming down their faces. The Marines stand frozen. No one has prepared them for this. Their orders are clear. Take no prisoners who resist. But these women are not resisting. They are begging to be killed. For 3 long minutes, the only sound is sobbing and the distant surf. Then Corporal O'Malley does something that will change everything. He reaches into his pack, pulls out a can of C-ration Spam, opens it with his P-38, and offers it to the nearest nurse. She stares at the pink meat as if it were poison. The standoff stretches on. The sun beats down mercilessly. Every Marine feels the weight of what comes next. At 1,145 hours, the company commander, Captain Robert Mac McAllister, arrives. He makes the decision that will become legend within the 81st Division. Instead of executing or immediately evacuating the women, he orders his men to treat them like you would your own sisters. Rations are broken out. Cans of eggs and bacon, peaches, even soluble coffee. The Marines brew coffee on a captured Japanese field stove. When the first enamel mug is handed to 22-year-old Navy Nurse Petty Officer 3rd Class Keiko Hashimoto, she smells the aroma, looks up in total confusion, and bursts into tears. One by one, the women accept food. Some eat mechanically, still expecting poison. Others weep uncontrollably at the taste of real eggs after months of coconut and rainwater. Corporal O'Malley produces 2 precious bottles of Coca-Cola from his musette bag, warm, but still liquid gold. He opens them with his bayonet and hands one to Keiko Hashimoto. She takes a sip, eyes widen, and she cries harder than before, not from fear now, but from a sweetness she says she has never imagined existed. Within minutes, every woman is eating. The Marines sit with them in the shade, sharing cigarettes, showing family photos. By 1400 hours, the grenades lie forgotten in a pile. What happened next would become legendary. 47 women who had prepared for death chose life because of a breakfast on a Pacific coral ridge. All 47 women were evacuated to a rear area field hospital on Peleliu, treated for malnutrition and shrapnel wounds, then transferred to a special women's stockade on Guam. Not one attempted suicide. Every single one survived the war. In 1946, they were repatriated aboard the hospital ship USS Relief. Before sailing, each woman received a care package containing, among soap and clothing, 1 bottle of Coca-Cola and a handwritten note from the Marines of 1/322nd. You are going home. Live long and happy lives. Decades later, in 1989, 12 of the surviving nurses returned to Angaur for the first time. They laid flowers at the cave mouth and shared another breakfast, this time with the children of those same Marines. Today, a small stone marker on Angaur, erected jointly by Japanese and American veterans, reads in both languages. Here, in August 1945, breakfast defeated death. No medals were ever awarded for what happened that day. Just the quiet knowledge that 47 lives were saved by Spam, coffee, and human decency. This was just one of countless untold stories from the Second World War. Subscribe to World War II Files as we continue to bring these forgotten chapters of history back to life.